Hey everyone, John Rostin here, and today I'm gonna go over procrastination. What is procrastination? Why do we have it? And how do we overcome procrastination? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. The question was asked by Roxy Mavia. So what is procrastination and how do we overcome procrastination? So first of all, whatever book I'm gonna put here on there, it is recommended that you go over that book. It will go into more details, but this is the best book that I found out that really helps out with procrastination. Now, what is procrastination? What is procrastination? Procrastination really is one thing. It's resistance, and resistance is like whenever you want to do something, whenever you want to accomplish something that is good or something that's required, especially people with creative talents, like whenever you're about to do something that is hard, it's a process, then resistance start to kick in. And resistance only kick in because it wants to make you feel good, and then you start asking yourself questions like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I can do it? Or what if people are making fun of me? Or what if it's no good? So in order to overcome resistance, you gotta understand it's a process. So even if though you don't not want to do that thing, you must be able to tell yourself like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I have to do it. Now, you need to understand the funny thing about this is just that, like, it's not that even you can't do it. Like, for example, I know a lot of entrepreneurs need to sit down and study a course and it's on video. People will sit down and watch like Netflix for 10 hours. I can't, like, and it's not that like I'm someone special or anything. It's just like I get pretty bored after 3 hours watching something over and over again. Like, I can never go through a whole season of Netflix myself. However, I used to have my ex-girlfriend, and that girl would binge watch like Netflix like forever. And like I would go home and come back, and she's like trying to tell me like what happened in what was that show again? Not Underworld. Stranger Things. Like whenever Stranger Things comes out, it's like a marathon for her, like 10 hours. But she couldn't literally spend like 3-4 minutes, because I would write music, and whenever she had like, she's like, oh my god, you're so inspirational, I want to write music too. And then after that's a few minutes, she's just like, yeah, I this is boring. I can't do it no more. Now, what do you go about to overcome resistance? And again, if you want to go into more details, you can go ahead and watch the book that I put up, but these are my notes that I have taken down that I am going to go over of what causes resistance and what people do in order to achieve resistance. And then after that, I'm going to go into exact details of what I do in order to overcome resistance. First is gonna be sex. Sex is a form of way that people will like not try to do what they need to do, because it's much easier as a human being to like take what's called instant gratification. So this is why people cheat on people. This is why people do these things, because you feel some kind of reward right there. And when it comes to do things that is good, it takes like forever. So it's much easier to go the easy path, which is called the path of least resistance. So people will use sex in order to not get shit done. And if you understand what I mean, that's one form of resistance. Another form of resistance is like self-victimized, like, oh, like, my life has been hard, like all these things that are happening to me, blah blah blah. This is also a form of resistance. Self-medication, whenever people are drinking a lot, try to go over a problem, that is something I have dealt with. I per se is not an alcoholic, but there are times in my life where like before, when I started my business, like I would drink heavily because I did not want to do the work. And for me to go through the work, I had to drink. Which is in itself not good, because then what happens when you're drinking and try to do your work? Hey Kevin, thank you for stopping by, man. And for you to not do the work when you're drinking also is a form of resistance. So we went over sex and then drinking and self-medication. um I personally know, like, I was an alcoholic because, like, I detest when it comes to drinking. Like, I hate it. I do not like it. But in the beginning, when I started my business, like, for me to go through something, fuck, I had to drink. I'm like, I had to sit down, drink, and which slowed down my process. That's also another form of resistance. A third form of resistance, I said also criticism, like self-criticism. Like, I can do this. I'm not that great at it. I may fail, or it is hard. Again, it's funny how people complain, like, they won't sit down to study for 5 minutes or like an hour, but they'll binge watch Netflix. um, Again, that's one of them. Self-doubt is another one when it comes to resistance. Oh, good, I'm making sure that I sound that sounds coming. Self-doubt is another form of resistance. Like, when you're scared, like, you're fearful, you're like, man, this is not gonna work, this is not gonna happen. In the beginning, I had a lot of self-doubt. um but then once you start making money, you'll understand, like, oh, okay, that then I understand the process. It's a process to this. um Fear, love, um not being able to get like instant result, again, with the sex thing, isolation, healing. These are some notes. Again, all these can go into details of how you can overcome these things and these form of resistance. And now you need to understand that resistance is only what you call it. Resistance, like, wants you to make you feel good. You need to understand that resistance wants you to, well, we are built this way, and it's not that, like, and it's not that you're doing it on purpose. You're only doing it because your mind can't really understand what is going on. Your mind can break things, and it's I need you to understand to separate your mind from your subconscious. Like, your mind just wants you to feel good. Again, this is why when you eat good things, it rewards you with dopamine, but it doesn't understand the long process of how do you achieve the goal that you need to achieve. So resistance will always kick in. Again, resistance kick in for infidelity. Like, if you're not being loved at home, you feel like going having sex with someone else, that instant reward, that's the pleasure resistance kicking in. What else? Binge watching Netflix, and instead of sitting down and doing what's hard because you're not seeing an immediate result, resistance kick in. So therefore, like, you go and sit down, like, oh man, I'll study tomorrow. I did a little bit. Again, resistance kick in. All these things, again, are focused on one thing, and this is why, again, I put this book, so you can go get this book and it will go into more details. I don't know who's laughing, but okay. So these are the reasons why resistance kicks in for these things. So if you can overcome these, if you can just do the process and understand them, then you're gonna become a master of your domain. Now, how do you overcome resistance is the next thing that I'm gonna go over. um this I didn't take this from this book, to be honest. This is like a long process of things that I study. I'm sure there's books that go into details, but the way this book tells you how to overcome resistance is just to get up, tell your mind, like, tell your subconscious to tell your mind, like, we're gonna get things done. I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do, we're gonna get it done. Now, when it comes to instant gratification, stuff like that, how do myself, I get things done? Again, this is, you can utilize this yourself, is to have a vision and to have a plan, to have a yearly vision and have a plan of what goal that you're going to be achieving. And to do that, you got to break these goals into small tasks, like small achievable tasks. And to do these things, like, you got to be willing to put yourself, like, damn near your back against the wall. If you think you're gonna skip days and stuff like that, which is funny because I'm gonna go over this real quick. Like, people think, like, once when you're a boss, like, you don't get to do any work. No, when you're a boss, you're the one that's gonna be doing a lot of the work. Like, your business depend on you. So I'm laughing because, like, I see a lot of people just like, yo man, I want to do the 4-hour work week. Yeah, they're See, you can take time off and stuff like that, but resistance will play a lot of part of it, because when you start making money, you tend to become somewhat lazy. Like, you don't have that drive, that, like, I don't know, I could call it hungry. Like, you're not really hungry when you what you call it, when you want to do this. So how do myself I do it? So I have a yearly plan. So I'm like, this is the amount of people I want to work with, this is the amount of money I'm gonna make, this is the amount of money I'm gonna help them make, and this is what I'm gonna do. And then for every month of the week, I know I'm gonna hit that goal. So for that whole week, on a Sunday or Saturday, I usually do a Saturday, but I put it on Sunday. On a Saturday, I go through every single thing I'm gonna do this week. What I'm gonna eat, when I'm gonna wake up, when I'm gonna go to sleep. And once you do these, your subconscious, remember in the beginning when I said resistance will always be the thing that's gonna stop you from doing what you want. When you do these things, your subconscious mind puts it somewhere and it locks it some way that's gonna overcome your natural mind. Like, it's buried in there. And I always suggest to write stuff down, because I don't know what it is. Like, don't put it on your I do Google Map, but I always recommend that you sit down and put it on piece of paper, because something with the pen and paper, like, it registers in your brain very well. So I do my week, and then I do what I'm gonna do every single day that week, and then I sit down that day, and then I go over everything that I'm gonna do that day. Now, what happens is that, like, whenever I'm gonna attack any single one of these tasks, I have to do that. This is what's gonna make you superhuman. This is what's gonna make you achieve every single goal in your business, and this is what's gonna make you, like, win over any competition. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care all that feel good stuff. I do not care. You're a business, and I'm not saying run around here with no emotions, but it's those things that if you do them and then you do them correctly, these are the things that's gonna help you succeed. Now, number one is to make sure that whatever task that you're gonna achieve this day, and how you're gonna go about it, you make sure that, like, everything that you do, everything that you're gonna be doing is very important. All right, so for example, I go to sleep at every day at midnight, and I wake up at 6. 5 hours is good enough for me. In the morning, I do my preps very fast, like workout. I skip breakfast, I take a shower, and then I start working. Now, I know some of you are at work. Some of you still have a job, and it's kind of hard for you. But here's what happened. If you sat down and had you write your thing the next day, so you know if you work your 8 hours, you're gonna come back home, and then you're gonna sit down for those 3 hours and work on those. But here's something that is very critical when you're doing resistance and stuff like that, because it will not always show up as work, and it can sometimes seems like that what you're doing work wise is progressive. For example, I keep my keyboard in the bag because I have a DJ deck. I put my DJ deck in a different room because, again, pleasure will always be resistance. The reason why I keep my DJ deck out of my workstation is because if it's 2-3 a.m. and I'm about to walk and go to bed, if I'm passing my DJ deck, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna practice for 30 minutes. Now, understand, practicing is good, but if it's not on my schedule, I know me, I'm obsessed with DJing. I will be here till 4 a.m. Like, oh man, like, I will be here till 4 a.m. practicing my DJ. Now, am I really good at DJing? Yes. Does it increase my skill? Yes. But does it help my business in general? No, it doesn't. Because now what happened is that I've wasted time that now I've overclocked my thing. Like, now I'm tired to do one thing, and it kind of like flips it around. Just because working and stuff like that doesn't mean things are gonna go right. So this is why you have to always tell your subconscious is that, like, if you're gonna be doing something, do it without resistance. Meaning, like, You need to do things that, like, you know you need to do things that are they're I don't want to say not fun. You want to do things in time. Like, you want to do things, you want to time it out. Now, it's not fun that, like, when you put something and then the time comes in and you have to go and do it. But in general, if you do it like this, you sit down you sit down on Saturday, you write out your whole week, and every day before you go to bed, you review what you need to be doing. And then once you do these things, that when the day comes, hey David, man, thank you for stopping by. Once you do these things and then you sit down, and every day you hit your task goal. It doesn't matter what happens, you hit it. If it says read for an hour, you read for an hour. If it says do something, do it. And the reason why I said it's like putting your back against the wall is, like, you need to make sure that, like, you understand this is business. You need to understand that, like, whatever happens needs to happen in order for you to achieve your goal. Because if you're not gonna be doing it, then you're not gonna reach what you need to do. And the reason, again, it's so good for you to sit down and to write it down is because subconsciously you're telling your mind, hey, listen, tomorrow when we get up, we got to do this. And I find it very good to write the things down the day before, because when you do it, if you don't write it the day before the night, when the day comes in and you have to do it, you have the tendency to not care. But since it's implemented in the back of your mind and then you write it down, when the day comes and you're doing it, you will do it. You're most likely to do it. Again, resistance, again, is the thing that will always, you can break it down to fear. Again, I break it down to fear, sex, infidelity, drugs, all these things that makes us feel good for us to not do the work that needs to do. And again, it's not that you can do the work. What is the difference between sitting down watching Netflix for 10 hours and reading a course or studying a course for 1 hour? Like, are they really the same thing? Because one is like chilling. You get what I'm saying. It's the same thing. You're sitting down and you're taking notes, but it's interesting. Like, you will sit down and watch 10 hours of Netflix, but your brain have tendency not to do it. I can tell you personally, if anyone agrees with me, if they ever been in resistance, please say a yes, let me know. But out of all the things that I do throughout the day, there's one thing that I hate there's two things that I hate. I hate calling bills or whatever when you have to pay bills, because I do not like being in this 1 hour that, like, for 1 hour I try to do something, like I'll have my headphones on and then I'm like working on my papers and shit like that, because, like, for half an hour, 45 minutes just to get someone. And I've learned to be nice to these people, because I understand there are people that are yelling at them all day, talking, like being mad because they forgot to pay their bills or something, or they got a fee. So I've learned to be nice to these people. And so just whenever you call a bill something, we have to pay a bill, be nice to these people. They will turn around and help you even more. They're like, oh my god, you're the first person, they're so nice. Like, I know, I understand. And they're like, yeah, like, cause sometimes you get someone and then the first thing they're like, hello, and then they're like on their fight mode. I'm like, okay, I'm not here to fight you, I just want to go through this bill. I've been on the phone for 45 minutes, I just want to be able to pay my bill, and then we move on. They're like, bro, they'll help you out. Be nice to these people. The second thing that I hate to do is meditation. I'm someone that's always a thinker. Like, I'm always drawing, I'm always producing, stuff like that. So whenever I have to meditate, you will not believe how hard it is to, like, not trying to think. That thing is hard. I will work out, I will do push-ups, I will call friends, I will do anything to avoid a 10-minute meditation. I hate it. I fucking disgust shit. I don't know why. The thing is, and it's good for you to calm down your nerves, your mind, and stuff like that. I hate doing it. I don't like meditation. Like, I will do anything in the book to not do meditation. These are the two things in my life that I hate to do. Anything else is cool. Like going to the gym, I've overcome that. All these other resistance I've overcome. And again, too, there are things in resistance that seem progressive, like you're doing something, but you're not actually doing anything. Um, but to be honest, this is how you overcome resistance, guys. So I'm gonna go over again one more time so you guys understand. Resistance is a form of thinking. You cannot feel it, you do not know it. It just wants you to make you feel good. It's a natural process. Us as human being, early in stage of our evolution, this is why when you eat a fruit, it's very rewarding. That sugar in it is just telling you this is high calorie food. This is good for you. That's why we eat a burger and all those carbs are like this is good for you. But down the line, yeah, for sure, just blessing. It is very. I do it early in the morning, but it is very hard. Um, this is why these things are very rewarding for you. Um, but the long process of you having to sit down and do things, the long process of having you to go to do what's hard so you can get that reward later, your brain cannot really connect it. So this is why your subconscious has to come into play. I don't care about the feel good, blah blah blah, this and that. Like, fuck feel good, you'll feel good after the work. How about that? Because as a musician and as someone who's a successful business person, I can tell you right now, nothing brings me joy than when my students get results. Nothing brings me joy like when I'm done on stage, I'm done DJing and people applauding and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna say F the money, obviously we all need money, but like, that form of reward is greater than anything in the world, because you sit down and you did the work. When you sit down, you do the work, you do the work. So when you cheating, like you doing things half-ass, or you want to do things, it's not gonna reward you. And again, I will repeat it again, sex and adultery is a form of resistance of instant gratification. Doing drugs and alcohol is a form of resistance. It's a sense of resistance, instant gratification. Where's my notes? More notes. Victimhood. When you wanna blame people for stuff is a form of resistance. What else? Unhappiness, criticizing people for your lack of results is a form of resistance. Like, again, resistance is everything that you feel like that you don't want to do, like you know that is hard. All of that is a form of resistance, and if you can overcome these things, you're gonna be able to succeed in whatever you do. And the way that you do it, like, I don't have a book that can tell you the process that I do, but again, here's the process that every high end entrepreneur do in order to achieve what they need to do. One is do everything that they need. Have a goal, a set goal that they're gonna achieve in 1 year. Break that goal down into month, and into month break that into like week and daily task. And those daily tasks, every time you're about to go to bed, you write them down. You know exactly what you're gonna do, and by knowing exactly what you're gonna do, you're gonna be able to, like, your subconscious is gonna take over. Like, the next day when you're going about your day, you okay, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I wake up. And you gotta, and there's a reason why I say put your back against the wall, because, like, again, I want to say fuck motivation, because motivation is not gonna get you result. Motivation can just give clear mind, a vision of where you need to go. What's gonna get you to your goal is literally you're kicking your butt just to get up and do it. If it says 5 o'clock, you gotta get up and do it, and you got an hour to do it. The reason you guys see me on social media, I'm getting results on social media and YouTube, is because I do the work. Making YouTube channel grow is not it's really not easy, guys. I have 8 hours to put out a video. So the minute I wake up, I'm gonna write the script. I have 1 hour to write the script. Like, I used to say, like, 2 hours. No, I got 1 hour to do the script. 1 hour to do the script, 1 hour to practice the script, and 1 hour to, like, for a few hours to go ahead and go about the script, and being able to cover the script. If I was doing it like motivation, oh yeah, today I'm gonna do this and that, I have seen so many people doing motivation stuff that don't produce any fucking result. And it's not that they're not willing, it's just that, like, motivation alone is not what gets you there. Getting done is what gets you there. Like, when you put yourself against the wall, like, I used to slack, like, I used to, like, want to feel good by doing YouTube. Like, okay, I'm gonna do one thing that day, the next day I'm gonna do that, and then, like, there's like a chain of connection, that command that doesn't register. Like, I don't have that, like, drive. So when I have like 8 hours to do a YouTube video, I have 8 hours to do a YouTube video because I'm gonna be putting it out there. Like, if I was just feeling good and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to grow my YouTube channel the way I did it. Like, putting high quality, 2 video high quality per week, man, that thing is hard. Do not think it's like, because you see like a 15-minute video, like it took me 15 minutes. No, it did not. It took me a whole day. So if anybody have question right now is the time. We got about like 4 minutes left. And I hope you guys learned a lot. That book, whatever it is up here, The War of Art by Scott Pressfield, go and check it out. It goes into more details about the things that I told you guys when it comes to resistance. But again, we'll do more of these every Monday at 11. And if everybody don't have any questions, I'm about to take this out. But pretty much, guys, this is exactly what it is when it comes to resistance. These are the things that people have done. Hey, Onika, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully this mic is not that far. But these are the things that you have to do in order to overcome procrastination, and it's all due to resistance. Your body just wants you to make you feel good. And again, anybody have any questions for me? We got about 3 minutes left. Anything that I missed or anything that you want me to cover? Hey Onika, if you missed it, you can go again and hashtag replay. Today I was just talking about resistance and how you overcome resistance. So this is like a at the end where if any of you guys have questions, you can just go ahead and let me know, and I can help you guys solve them. But again, like I said, this book, whatever it is on the page, wherever this book is on the page, definitely go check that book out, because that book helped you a lot understand. Thank you, Annika. And also you can leave questions for the next week. If you're in the group, this is where I put over the this is where I go over the business stuff, but for legal purposes, YouTube won't let you do business out here. So, but these are the things that I know that can help people in businesses, and it's about resistance and why procrastination causes resistance, and what you have to do, like those how do you set up your way that you can always win by achieving your goals. It seems like everybody do not have a question. Thank you, Annika. Thank you, David. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, Justin. Blessing. Thank all of you guys for stopping by. I appreciate the love. On Friday, I do the same hour webinar in my group. So if you're not there, please go ahead and verify that. That way I can help you with earning money. But on this page is all about mental stuff. Again, guys, I have 2 minutes. I'll go over real quick what you guys need to do. Have a year goal. Within that year goal, break it down to a month, and within that month you work even more on that, just to break it down to daily tasks. If every night you write the things down, your mind likes to be lazy. Your mind will let you drift. If you can't drift, you'll drift. I've been guilty of it. If I can get away with something, I will, only to have to work harder the next day. So when you write it down and you put your back against the wall, like I wake up at 5, I'm doing this, I will do these things. Again, for me, two hardest thing is the talking to people on the phone with the build thing, and having to do meditation. I do not like to do meditation. I will push up, I will run around my house call friends, do everything to avoid procrastination. Because for me, it's not thinking is one of the hardest thing for me, but it helps and it's good for your mind. um when you write it down, it's down in your subconscious, then the next day you wake up and you will achieve it. So you guys can leave question, anybody on the replay, hashtag replay, leave question, and I also will answer those next week, same time, 11, for half an hour. I love all you guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace.